Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today is February 16th, year 2024, and I am coming to you today with a topic of sowing and reaping. We have heard so much about sowing seeds financially, where some ministries are encouraging parishioners to sow seeds to get God to work on their behalf. So we're not talking about seed sowing and a monetary seed sowing today. We're talking about seed sowing, the deeds that we do. And first of all, I would like to say that many times when things come back to us, we don't recognize them, because when we sowed the seeds, we sowed them maybe in revenge or anger or carelessness, but they come back full blown. And you will always reap from the denomination of seed that you sow. So I'm going to share the screen and read this to you. Sowing and reaping. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that he will also reap. So we are seeing that whatever we sow, we will reap. If you sow love, you will reap love. If you sow discord, you will reap discord. For he who sows in his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. So if we're sowing, if we're sinning with our bodies, we're going to reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. So you know that we're sowing in the Spirit. We've been born again, and we're walking according to God's word. We have everlasting life. And let us not grow weary in well doing. For in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all, especially to those of the household of faith. Sowing in Google, sowing is defined as planting seeds or scattering on the earth by putting them in the earth or scattering them on top. And reaping is defined as the harvest from the seeds that you have sown, the crop from a piece of land cut together, where you go in and gather up what you planted. Just say if you planted tomatoes, when that time comes to harvest and they're all ripe, you go out with your baskets and you pull tomatoes. You cannot expect that if you plant cucumbers, you're going to reap tomatoes. Same thing with us. If we plant discord, we're not going to reap peace. We're going to reap discord. If we plant love, kindness to other people, forgiveness and mercy and favor, we will reap that. And I want to make sure when I say kindness and love and favor, we're not talking about enabling people to mistreat us. But when we have shown other people that we are godly people and we can do things according to God's will, and even when they are not acting appropriately toward us, we use emotional intelligence and give them the right answers with strong convictions, and we walk away. But we don't walk away hating them or wishing them any harm. We walk away knowing that at this point they're ignorant of what's going on, and they do not want to be corrected. So my fellow saints, my question to you today is, what are you sowing? We can plan. Let's see, the word declares, whatsoever man soweth, so shall he reap. So if I'm sowing discord among others, I can be assured I will reap discord. If I'm sowing love, I can reap love. Every seed reproduces after its kind. So, brothers and sisters, let us be mindful of the seeds that we sow. When we get a harvest, we should examine and to know where our harvest is coming from. Many times, we sit down and say, why is this person doing this to me? And you may have sown that seed into another person and forgot all about it, but it's coming home. I think it was Malcolm X who said that chickens come home to roost. So we got to make sure when you're showing favoritism, and I have been guilty of that many times, because if I find someone that appears to be really nice and well-mannered, I just usually take up with them and become so fascinated with them, and many times they end up hurting me. because they are not who I thought they were, and also because I'm out of God's will. He says, do not show favoritism. And that does not mean that you can't have favorite parts, favorite characteristics of a person that you admire. But if it comes down to what you need to do to help that person or help another person, treat them equally. If we're so in love, we will always get love back. That God will come out of the woodworks with things that you never expect when you've done good things. I mean, I've reaped so many things that I didn't even think that would have been coming to me, but God has shown me favor. And just as Father has shown me favor, I endeavor to show others favor. I do not endeavor to be an enabling person, but I do endeavor to show patience and kindness and faith and long suffering with others. So today, as we go about our way, I ask you to be mindful of the seeds that you sow, understanding every seed will reproduce after its own time. God bless you, brothers and sisters, and may the love of Jesus forever flow in your life, and may you always have favor from Father. Sister